We know that the series Tomorrow has many fans, and it is a very different series that catches you in each chapter. Although it can be considered a bit strong because of the scenes it presents and the themes that each chapter has, it has become one of the favorite series in the world of K-dramas. Besides the fact that Tomorrow presents a beautiful teaching related to the importance of being grateful with life, it also presents a great love story. That's why today I'm going to talk about Koo Ryeon and Jung-gil's intense love story. But first, remember to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell to be among the first to see our content. First of all, we must understand what their childhood was like and how they met. Apparently, Ryeon came from a family that was well off financially according to that time. She lived with her dad, however, her mom was not present. We can assume that her mom died in childbirth or for some other reason. Although in those days women did not study, Ryeon's father allowed her to study, so she could read and write and had studied some subjects. She had a best friend who was very outgoing and liked to dance and laugh. One day Ryeon's father told her friend to take care of her so that she would not leave, however, Ryeon took advantage of her friend falling asleep and left. Ryeon went hunting in the forest, but she did not have good luck that day. Then Jung-gil appeared, who was curiously near her practicing with his bow and arrow. Then Jung-gil noticed that there was a boy nearby and approached and threatened him with his sword. Then the boy's father runs to defend him and apologizes, at which point Ryeon approaches and tells Jung-gil not to be so exaggerated and makes him understand that we are all equal. Ryeon used to go to a village because a local man saved her when she was bitten by a snake and she felt a debt to them, and tried to hunt to bring them food. Ryeon from a very young age saw no distinction in social classes, and to her the poor and the rich were equal, proving to be a very sweet young girl. Ryeon returns to the forest to see if she can hunt and finds that Jung-gil was bitten by a snake. Ryeon quickly takes Jung-gil to the village where the people who helped her lived. A village lord lets him stay so that he can be cured. Then Ryeon goes hunting in the forest again, and this time she was lucky and was able to catch a bird. However, she realized that the people in the village already had plenty of birds to eat. That day Jung-gil had a great hunt. When Jung-gil sees Ryeon, he thanks her for saving him and she tells him that she did it to keep her word that everyone is equal. Then the village lord tells Jung-gil that a war may be coming, and if it is true his village would be the first to be harmed. Before Ryeon leaves, Jung-gil asks her what her name is, and then Jung-gil tells him his name. Here we can see both of their faces. We can tell that already at that moment there was something special between them. The sweetest thing is the look on Jung-gil's face when he sees Ryeon leaving. At that time it was quite common for fathers to have prenuptial agreements with their daughters. Ryeon's father told her that she had to get married now because she was old enough and had the right husband for her. Ryeon flatly refused because she did not want to marry someone she did not know. The father claims to her that she can't behave like that because she is a woman. Then Ryeon leaves her house and is determined not to get married and tells her best friend, but warns her that she can't tell anyone. Ryeon arrives at Jung-gil's house, and when she sees him she is shocked and he is equally shocked, as it is the first time they both see each other in nice clothes. Then they go for a walk and go to the market, and Ryeon says she likes shadows, and suddenly Jung-gil paints her eye with a pink eyeshadow. He tells her that pink looks very pretty on her. Then she asks him why he looks at her like that, and suddenly he tells her that he loves her. You can see how they both used to go to the forest to hunt, and of course Jung-gil teaches Ryeon many techniques. At that moment he confesses to her that he is going to be activated as a military man and will fight for the suffering villagers in the frontier. You can tell how happy Ryeon was, as before Jung-gil didn't care about the lives of the poor, and now he seems to be a more empathetic person. Here we see how love was changing this boy. Then these guys get married, and you can see how in love they are. After they are adults, they continue to go to the market to buy things. Ryeon asks him which one looks best on her, and he says all of them because she is very pretty, and then he chooses one for her in a color like light pink. So this gives us to understand that Jung-gil liked that color for her. Then this romantic moment was interrupted by some soldiers who told Jung-gil that the barbarians crossed the border and sacked the villages. Then Ryan tells him that the country has priority and not to worry about her, and he tells her that he will come back and leave with the soldiers. Jung-gil's mom complains to Ryan and tells her that it's because of her that he is in the army, but Ryan told her that it wasn't her idea, he decided it himself. Seeing the barbarians approaching, Ryan reaches for her bow and starts fighting. She tells her mother-in-law to hide while she goes to look for her friend, who is also a servant, but she is like her sister. Ryan tries to save her life and her friend's life while Jung-gil continues to fight in the forest. Then she arrives at the village and realizes that Ryan is missing and goes to look for her. Ryan walks for hours along with the others they kidnapped while Jung-gil continues to search for her. Then she comes up with the idea of using a poisonous plant in the barbarians' food and manages to run away. She walks for hours and manages to reach her village, but when she meets some soldiers, they tell her that she is no longer welcome because since she left they can't trust her. Then Jung-gil appears and argues with the soldiers to let her in, after which they give each other a tender embrace. After a year, Ryan continues to have nightmares about what happened. She and Jung-gil go to the village to see a doctor and find that people look down on her. All this happens because the villagers believe that the women who survived did so because they prostituted themselves to the barbarians. Jung-gil's mother tells him that it is in his best interest to divorce his wife because of what happened, and that she will get him another one soon. The mother also mentions to him that many women commit suicide to keep their loyalty and tells him that there are many rumors about his wife. Then Jung-gil gets angry and starts to complain to many about the rumors and threatens to kill them. Ryan sees all this and is shocked, and the mother hints Ryan to commit suicide. Then Ryan continues to suffer from the comments and humiliation of others, so much so that the villagers throw stones at her, and because of this, her friend is stoned to death for defending her. Ryan tries to hurt herself and tells her husband that she can't stand what she is going through anymore and says that she would rather die than endure everything. Jung-gil calls her out and tells her not to think only of her but to think of him as well. Her husband tells her that he will take care of everything. When Jung-gil hears again that some men are talking rumors about his wife, he gets angry and kills them. He lets it be known that he will kill anyone who speaks ill of his wife. Ryan is shocked by her husband's words and he tells her that everything he did was for her. Ryan tells him that he should have listened to his mother-in-law and regrets coming back. Ryan is sad to see her husband like this and also can't bear all the suffering she has and decides to deprive herself of her life. Then when Jung-gil arrives home, he sees Ryan's body and you can see how devastated he is to see her like this. He cries inconsolably and hugs her and asks for her forgiveness. After Ryan dies, she goes straight to hell. We know that by Ryan taking her own life, she broke the bond between her and Jung-gil, and she is not supposed to be close to Jung-gil again in the afterlife as a punishment for what she did. However, their love is so strong that the Jade Emperor said that even though Jung-gil reincarnated several times, it was difficult for him to erase his pain and memories because usually one reincarnation is enough for you to forget all your past and start a new life. Jung-gil's pain was so strong that he once told the Jade Emperor to erase all his memories so that he would not feel any pain. However, Jung-gil had some nightmares where he saw Ryan, although of course he did not understand why. While going on with her story, Ryan continues her work with the RM team and the case of her reincarnated best friend comes up. Ryan is very angry about all the harm being done to her friend and she gets out of control and hits all the people who are harassing Choi Jun-Woong. Ryan starts to have a very aggressive behavior and is kind of out of control, and therefore she must be arrested to be taken to hell again because she is disobeying the rules. Jun-Woong realizes that the only person who can save Ryan is Jung-gil, even though he doesn't remember what he experienced with her, so he lets him know that he must find out why Ryan appears in his nightmares. Jung-gil angrily goes to the archives and takes a look at his memories and realizes all the past he has with Ryan. Upon learning all that, as he knows that Ryan is in danger, he rushes to save her so that she can rescue her best friend. After he saves her, he has to face his possible punishment because he broke the rules and saved Ryan knowing that she was misbehaving. However, the Jade Emperor defends Jung-gil and only gives him a small punishment of 6 months and pardons Ryan. Ryan goes to Jung-gil and asks him why he saved her, and he asks her why she hid all her past from him. Ryan tells him that they were once married but the thread broke, that even though their feelings survived, she couldn't talk about anything because it's been hundreds of years. Jung-gil replies that it wasn't feelings that motivated him to rescue her, but his pride after making mistakes and doing foolish things. Ryan thanks him for telling her that. So we can see that in this scene the feelings of love between the two revived again. However, there is something curious, and is that the Jade Emperor knew the history of the two, and anyway she put Ryan to be trained by Jung-gil, something that may seem strange. At that time Ryan knew who he was, but Jung-gil didn't know who she was. At the end of the series they get back together because there is a person who tries to take his own life but doesn't, thanks to Jun-Woong. When Ryan sees Jung-gil again, she becomes very happy and implies that the two will continue to work together in the afterlife, even though of course they do different jobs. This love story was so strong that neither the past, nor reincarnations, nor sins, nor death itself could break the love they felt. That is why Ryan had pink hair and leftovers, because it was Jung-gil's favorite color, and that is why Jung-gil, despite his reincarnations, had nightmares with Ryan's image. What an amazing love story! If you like this video, like and share it with your friends.